You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
From Los Angeles, California, and Maria Menounos, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's The Voice Of. The Voice Of is a long-form interview series featuring the voice talent behind your favorite characters and announcers from TV, movies, the internet, and video games. And now, from the world's #1 TV after-show platform, this is AfterBuzz TV's The Voice Of.
Hey guys, and welcome to The Voice Of. I'm Dave Klein, and I am joined here by the amazingly talented Cassandra Morris. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course, and you have a really big series going on right now, if we just jump right into it, which is Sword Art Online. Tons of fans right now for your character. So what is it like? I mean, did you know how big Sword Art Online was before you got into it?
I did not. I mean, you never kind of really know how the US audience is going to react. Even if something's big in Japan, it might not necessarily be big here, especially with a storyline like Sword Art Online's, which is pretty controversial because, you know, people say it has hints of incest and things like that.
Just a little bit with Lifa. Just a little bit. Yeah.
So, I mean, you never really know, like, how that is going to be received, but it was actually really positive, and I've had, like, really positive feedback to my portrayal of her character.
Oh, that's great, because everyone was like, oh, it's cousins, so it's cool because it's cousins, right?
But she didn't know that it was her cousin.
Yeah,
so you
that's
have
true.
to, like, excuse her for that. Spoiler alert. Sorry, everybody.
I'm sure people watching, I assume no Sword Art Online. I mean, you've done voices for a long time as well, though, so this isn't your first, but I'm curious, though, because you started, you graduated from NYU with a degree in journalism, so how did that transfer into voice work?
Well, I have actually been acting since I was about 12 years old professionally. So it was something that I've always done, and I went to college and got a degree as kind of like a backup career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So you've been doing, okay, I didn't realize you've been doing it for so long. So when did you actually start doing voices then? Because at least as far as IMDb is concerned, it was around 2006.
Yeah, you know, IMDb doesn't track things like radio commercials and TV commercials and things like that. And I've been doing those since I was about 12 years old.
Okay, so long time.
I've been doing it for a long time, yeah.
Yeah. So since you do so many voices, you do anime, you do cartoons, you do audiobooks, and also commercials, apparently.
Yeah.
What is your favorite one to do?
Oh man, I can't even pick a favorite genre. It's like trying to pick a favorite child.
Yeah, I'm sure it's all different too for the way you do it.
Each genre has its good points and its, you know, not so good points. Like, I love doing audiobooks because I love to read and I've always been kind of bookish and I love to write, so that like kind of makes sense for me to be a storyteller. I love doing animation because it's like you're bringing a character to life, and you know, a lot of the times it's on TV, so it's a little bit more high profile, and that's really exciting. Video games, I feel like I've renewed my love for video games by voicing them. It's just like awesome to like play a game that you were in, like, and, like hold it in your hand and like be that character. I don't know. It's really fun. And then like radio is it's just fun to like. I mean, I listen to the radio all the time, and like hearing yourself pop up, you're like, oh hey, that's me.
Okay, so I actually have to ask you to move your mic to the right a little bit. I'm sorry to do it live, but yeah, just like a little bit, so it's more in front of you.
This thing's heavy.
Yeah, it's high duty.
Like really heavy.
All right, we're getting the thumbs up from the studio.
Okay,
perfect.
so now everybody can hear me.
Yes,
Should we repeat
now you sound
everything
beautiful.
That we
Yeah,
just
just
said?
repeat everything. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's all right. But I'm actually a big gamer, so to me, when I
cool.
saw like, oh, League of Legends, Bravely Default, I was like, that is really cool. So do you actually play, I mean, you said you play some of them. I mean, do you play League of Legends? Do you get really into that? Because people are really into League of Legends.
I know. You know, I haven't delved into League of Legends, but I am so into Bravely Default.
Yeah,
like,
that's the one for me. Like, I'm more of a Bravely Default guy.
I'm like addicted to that game. Oh my gosh. I had a flight recently, and the whole time I was like, ah!
Yeah, that's what it's perfect for. And I mean, you're just telling me you're flying out to Bali, so there you go.
Uh-huh.
You can play Bravely Default on the way.
It's 3DS all the way.
Perfect. And you also did Dead or Alive 5, Final Fantasy games, Rune Factory. I like Rune Factory a lot. That's one of my types of games.
Cool.
So yeah, you've been doing it for a while, so that's great. And yeah, so then as far as anime goes, you said it's really cool to be on TV and end up like that. So of the big roles that you've had, do you have one that you really connected with?
Connected with?
Yeah.
I would say probably Ritsu from K-On! She's just like a normal schoolgirl, and she loves music, and she loves hanging out with her friends. She's a drummer. She's kind of crazy. She's a leader. I see most of myself in Ritsu.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Lifa, I feel for her. Like, my heart breaks for her. I kind of see her as, like, my little sister.
Yeah.
And I want to be like, it's going to be okay. You're a really strong person. Like, you're going to survive this.
It's a little sad, like, watching. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for her. That's all I feel the whole time is bad for her.
I know, and I want, because they're doing SAO too.
Yeah.
I really would like to see Lifa end up with somebody who loves her and cares about her and is not related to her.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be a plus. Yeah, and hopefully, who loves her, who isn't interested in someone else. So
yeah, I know. So like, it's all about her because she deserves that.
Yeah, absolutely.
She should not be second fiddle.
No, she shouldn't. She deserves more than that. And so from you doing books, though, and audiobooks, you do a lot of books like Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars. And from doing research and looking into what you do, it seems like you're really into fashion. So is that a side of you that you really enjoy being able to explore in the audiobooks?
Yeah, absolutely. When I found out I was going to be the Gossip Girl audiobook narrator, I was so stoked. And then the same for Pretty Little Liars. Funny story. So usually when I record with an engineer, and it's like some dude who, like, this is his side gig. What he really does is music.
Yeah.
He's like a 20-something, like, grungy dude. Could care less about what's going on, like, in teen girl pop culture. Every single engineer that I recorded with and every engineer that edited the book was so into Pretty Little Liars.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like a whodunit, and you don't know. Like, Sarah Shepard, the author, she is so good at, like, creating page turners and characters that you really care about. So, yeah, I just love to be part of that world. And all the guys loved it. So, guys should watch Pretty Little Liars. And listen to the audiobooks, too.
No, that sounds cool to me. I'm like, maybe I should read Pretty Little Liars, because I love those types of books.
You'll be so into it. And then The Lying Game, which is kind of like it's not a spin-off with the same characters, but it's like the same thing. There's, a mystery. And it takes like 7 books to solve it. That one is really good, too.
See, I didn't know you actually had engineers, though, when you were doing audiobooks. I assumed that was a little more on your own, because it's so, I don't know, you do so much work for an audiobook. Because you have to do paragraph upon paragraph.
Oh, yeah. You just basically read for 6 hours straight. And I usually take a break, like, every hour and a half. And then I take lunch after, like, 3 hours. So it's like running a marathon.
Yeah, to me, I imagine that being the hardest one to do.
Yeah, not everybody likes it. I like it because I love reading. But it's definitely, like, you have to, like, keep your voice in good condition.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot, like, go out the night before and yell a lot. You can't really talk much at the end of the day, but
yeah,
I really like it.
Well, how many characters? Like, how hard is it to remember all the characters when you get to each one?
What we do is when we're recording, every time a new character comes, the engineer will mark it.
Yeah.
So then if I get to a character that I haven't voiced in like 100 pages and I'm like, who is Mrs. Moran? They'll like go back and like play me what I originally did for her. Yeah. So it's pretty easy.
That's something I've always wondered when I'm listening to audiobooks. I'm like, how do they remember?
Technology.
Mind blown. What is that? I don't even know what that is. It reminds me a lot of Sword Art Online.
Oh, yeah.
See that transition, the loop right back to it?
Crazy things that we can do. Yeah, that was a good transition.
Thank you, even though I ruined it by talking about it. But that's all right. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so Sword Art Online, how much fandom do you actually get from that and people coming up to you and like knowing who you are because of Sword Art Online?
Well, it really happens, like, it doesn't really happen in day-to-day life because most people don't know what I look like.
Right.
That's what I look like.
But I imagine at conventions.
At conventions, though, that's when you get fans coming up to you. And, like, I mean, pretty much everybody has said really nice things.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like, I'm very happy that I haven't had any haters.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, you get people dressed up as Lifa. They want you to sign their Lifa thing or... Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you also get a mix then of K-On! Because that was big as well. Which one do you usually get the most from?
Right now, it's Sword Art.
Yeah.
And probably Sword Art will, like, continue to be a little bit more popular because it's on Toonami, and then, K-On! Wasn't, so... Like, the more exposure your show has, the bigger fans you'll have. Like, Yugioh Gx, I was the voice of Bell for that, and it was a couple years ago now. It was like a long time ago, but people still come up to me. They want me to send their cards and stuff like that.
Oh, I wasn't sure how big Yugioh Gx was compared to the original series. I wasn't sure if you still got a lot of fandom
no,
from that.
it's huge. Like, people, that is the one that people consistently really love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll just always know you for that. So
Yeah.
that's kind of cool, though, to have your voice live on forever in these various shows.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, that was pretty much the first anime I was ever on, and I didn't really know that there was this whole, like, subculture, like, cult fandom for it. So it was just, like, the first time I realized that, I was like, whoa, I didn't know, like...
Yeah, and I feel like it's only getting bigger, too.
Oh, yeah. Like, cosplaying and anime conventions and wanting to meet voice actors is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's kind of like a cool cultural phenomenon we're witnessing right now.
Yeah, and had you actually watched anime before you started doing voices for it?
I didn't really know what anime was. Like, I knew Pokemon, I knew of Sailor Moon. My brother was a big Dragon Ball Z fan. But I didn't know that it was, like, this whole thing. Until until this production company invited me to a convention, and I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds cool. And then I walked in, and all these people were in cosplay, and I was the only one wearing normal clothes, and I was like, what did I just get myself into?
Yeah.
But now it seems normal.
Yeah, it's a whole nother world if you've never gone to one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love taking people to them for the first time and just, like, watching their face.
Yeah.
They're like, what is this?
It's, absolutely different.
Yeah.
So, of the ones that you've been on, what is your favorite one to watch, or can you say that?
My favorite one to watch, well, I mean, it changes constantly, but right now it's Toradora because it just came out.
Yeah.
And I haven't even watched the whole series yet, so that's the one I've been committing my time to.
When you actually get the scripts, do you know what everyone else's roles are, or you just kind of do your own part and then get surprised when you watch it later as to how the whole episode plays out?
Oh, well, usually we record, if we're dubbing something, we record on our own.
Right.
And if nobody else has recorded their parts, then you don't know, like, what other people sound like in your session. So you pretty much just have to imagine how their character would sound, and then you just react and...
Right, but I mean, like, do you actually know the entire script going into it, or do you just get surprised by the episode and what's going to happen?
It depends if I watch it beforehand or not. With Toradora, I watched it beforehand. With Sword Art, I watched it beforehand. With Can, I did not.
Okay.
So, I don't know. There's benefits to both. Like, I kind of like discovering it as I go, like experiencing it, like as a fan would watch it. But I mean, there's something to be said for like knowing where your character is going and doing your research and.
Yeah, well, it's also harder too because you actually have to match the lip flapping and make sure that it's actually timed right. So I would assume that for something like an anime, that would be the benefit to watching beforehand, is knowing like, okay, this is where it's going to play out and where I can put the voice.
Oh, well, what they do is they show you a preview of your line.
Yeah.
You literally record like 1 to 3 sentences at a time.
Right.
So they let you preview it on a screen, and then after you preview it, they beep you in. So you hear 3 beeps, and on what would be the 4th beep, you start talking. So you just kind of like train yourself to like watch the preview and then look down at your line and figure out how that's going to fit in, and then say the line. And that all happens in a span of like 10 seconds.
Yeah. So, okay, quick, really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So how is doing something like that compared to, say, Angela Rules, which was just an original cartoon where you don't have to worry about that?
Yeah. So with Angela Rules, you just have, or any original animation, you just have more freedom.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to like pause just because your character's lip stopped flapping. You can change a line, you can add a word if you think it's funnier. With that, like, because it's not in front of me, like, it's not animated at all, they animate it to us, I just kind of, like, imagine in my head, like, what my character Lola would be doing and, like, where she would be based off what the script says, and just kind of, like, put myself in her world for a couple hours while we record.
So, like, I imagine that would be more fun to do, but then the animes are so, at least to me, I mean, it depends on the show you get on, but a lot of the animes to me, because I grew up watching anime and I love a lot of animes, to me, I love those so much that I'm like, but I'd rather be on an anime, even though it sounds more fun to do an original show.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference at all for which one you do?
I mean, I just like to act.
Yeah.
I just like to work like any actor, so I don't know, I don't really have a preference. I would like to start doing more original animation this year. I think with Angela Rules now being on CartoonNetwork.com and being on demand, like that's gonna bring a lot more awareness to that and possibly to me. So that would be a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize how long it's been going for a while now.
Angelo?
Yeah.
I have been doing Angela Rules for like 4.5 years, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just. And you know, it is a long time, But that is just how this business works. Like, I did an original pilot a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And it's still on the table. Like, it could still go.
That's
So
exciting, though, when something's still going that long.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I was surprised when I got called in to do pickups for it because it had literally been a year since I recorded that character. And I was
Yeah.
like, the show is, like, still might happen. So, yeah, it's a lot of, like, get really excited about something and then wait. And then get excited and then wait.
Yeah,
So,
I guess that's the thing that's easy about animes is because a lot of times you're like, well, I know they've already done 5 seasons in Japan.
yeah, so it's
So-
like you pretty much know it's going to come out if you're dubbing it.
Right.
So that's more of, like, an instant gratification thing.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you're working on a new show that, you know, is not already on the air, then it's just, you know, a lot of waiting.
Yeah. So on the video game side of things,
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Todd Habercorn a few weeks ago, and he was telling me that when he goes to record video games, it's actually higher in terms of the studio you're in. It's actually like a bigger studio usually. Have you had the same experience?
For some video games, yeah. The thing is, right now, video games are making a ton of money.
Yeah.
Partly because they're one of the only things that you cannot pirate. There's no way to steal a video game.
Yeah.
And so video games are getting huge budgets because everybody's buying them. They pretty much like know what's gonna hit, so studios will pour a ton of money into them. So when that happens, you get, you know, a bigger studio, you get a bigger director, you get paid more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's just, video games are hugely popular right now, so
That's kind of the
why
shame
that
about
happens.
anime and manga right now. I feel like it's so easy and a lot of people do it, just like the redubbing of mangas. Or not redubbing, but like translating, just free translations, and then it makes it so a
Oh,
lot to
yeah.
import over here because people just go and check it out online.
I know, but you know, like there's definitely a difference in quality
Yeah.
between like somebody who's just doing it like as a hobby, maybe at night, versus, you know, people like us who are actually like going into a studio and like putting many hours into it.
Oh, yeah, there's
so I would hope the fans
major
would
difference.
recognize that, you know, we were like putting our heart and soul into it, and
Yeah.
maybe they'll check that one out instead, or in addition to.
So you actually moved from New York City to Los Angeles. What was that transition like?
You know, I didn't expect it to be so huge because I was like, oh, you know, it's not like I'm moving abroad or anything.
Yeah.
But LA really at first felt like a different country to me. It was so funny. Like, people just socialize differently. You get around differently. Everybody's more laid back here.
Yeah, there's cars everywhere.
Yeah, there's cars. People dress differently. They talk differently. So it took me about a year to a year and a half to actually like it in LA.
Yeah.
And now I love it. And I don't even want to go back to New York. It's weird because for so long I was like, I'm a New Yorker. I'm going to live and die here. I'm going to stay here forever. But now I'm like, I don't even want to go back. I love LA.
Did you
So-
move here because of work?
Yeah, that, and I just wanted to try living in a different place.
Yeah.
I grew up in Connecticut, and then I moved to New York, and literally where I grew up is like an hour and change outside of New York City, so it was kind of like I was staying in the same place, and I just wanted like a little bit of adventure and excitement, I guess, so
Yeah.
the only other place I could really work consistently was LA, so I made the jump.
Nah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, I think it's great to move and get out and discover a new land.
Yeah.
Discover a new area.
Yeah, I love to travel, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Clearly, as you're leaving this week to go travel.
I know!
But you are actually going to be back for the Vox Reacts tour.
Yes!
So is that, I know you're selling tickets for that. Is that already sold out, or are you guys still selling tickets for that?
We are still selling tickets. I think there are 7 VIP tickets left.
Okay.
As of like an hour ago.
So, by the time this is live right now, but by the time this is on YouTube, maybe not.
They might be sold out. We still have some general admission tickets. It's a really, it's not like a huge convention. It's
Yeah.
a really small, exclusive event. So I'm telling people if they want to go, definitely buy their ticket ahead of time because we're hoping it's going to sell out. It seems like it's going to sell out. So.
Well, it's sounding like it. I think you just posted about it a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, we started posting about it. I don't even remember, a couple weeks ago.
Okay,
maybe.
so
But we've been amping up
that's
our
still
our
not that
posting.
long, though, so-
yeah, and people are really excited about it. We wanted to do like a day with voice actors.
Yeah.
Kind of like out of the convention setting, and we're gonna be showing bloopers. We're gonna show like a never before seen anime that I can't even tell you what
Oh.
it is. Like you have to go
Well,
there
now
to
I'm really
see
curious.
it. I know, but I can't say it because I'll get in trouble.
This is just like Pretty Little Liars. You're leaving it dangling for me like, well, what is it?
Dangling the
What is it? I need to find out.
We're doing that. We're going to be doing trivia. We're going to give away prizes. All the VIPs are going to get an exclusive poster that'll be signed by me, Johnny Young Bosch, Matthew Mercer, and Christina V, who are the other guests.
Yeah.
And basically, it's like the first time that anybody's ever done something like this, so...
Yeah, so like, what's the actual environment going to be like? Because I'm used to conventions. Where it's like, okay, there's a panel, and you ask questions, and then that's it. Goodbye. So like, are you actually going to have a panel set up? Or, I mean, I know you have all these extra things you're showing, but what's the actual setup going to be like?
We want to do like a condensed panel, and we're going to do that throughout the day. We're going to have Q&As too, but it's basically like, we just want to hang out with anime fans and have like... and like get to know them better and like give them like a really unique anime experience. So it's like in a really small hotel. They'll probably be confined to like a smaller area. Like there won't be like a ton of rooms open or anything like that. Basically, it's just like a hangout session. Johnny's gonna break bricks for people. His band is gonna...
Oh, that's right, because he's a martial artist, right?
He is, yeah. So he's gonna do tricks. I Shine, his band, is gonna do an acoustic performance. So it's more like a hangout and like make 100 new friends kind of day than like a convention where you can like be all over the place.
Yeah, that sounds way cooler to me, where it's just like, you just kind of get shuffled around and like, oh, there they are in the distance, the voice actors, okay.
Yeah, no, we wanna give people like an up close and personal experience, and there will really only be a line like to get in at the beginning of the day, and then that's it. So no like wasting your time waiting in line when you can be like...
Yeah, well, if it's so small too, it's not like you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in front of you.
And then we're doing a signing, so like everybody who brings something to get signed, they will definitely get their thing signed.
Yeah, are you guys going to try and keep on doing this annually if it goes well?
Well, what I hope to have it turn into is an actual tour.
Yeah.
So I would really like to have us travel around to different cities and, you know, have it be like a band. Like, we do different dates. Like, we go on tour for 3 weeks, and then instead of, like, fans coming to a convention, it's like, we come to you. But it really all depends on how the first event goes.
Yeah, well, good. So get those tickets.
Yes.
So it goes well, and they can go on tour.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yes.
So speaking of animes then, I'm curious, are there any animes out there that you know of that you would like to somehow get involved in?
I think it would be cool to be part of the new Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
I feel like my voice would be a good fit for that. And then, I mean, I had like a ton of stuff come out this year, so I feel like I can't even be like, oh, I want this, because I've already had like so much luck this year.
Yeah, stop being so greedy, even though I asked the questions.
No, like, let other people have a chance. But like Gargantia just came out.
Yeah.
I'm in that, and then Toradora came out. And the Madoka Magica movies are coming out, and so we did that. And yeah, I don't know. I've just been in the studio a lot this year, which is good.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, between that, video games, audiobooks, commercials. Do you still do commercial work?
Yeah.
So, and commercials.
Yeah.
Everything that you're doing. And blogging, too.
And blogging.
So you're actually a blogger, and we're using that journalism degree. So talk about your blog.
My blog is called Style Smoothie, stylesmoothie.com. Go to it. Our Instagram is @StyleSmoothieOfficial. And basically, my friend Kristen and I started it because every weekend we would like hang out, go to the beach, go longboarding, and we would always take photos.
So you really are LA now.
Yeah, I know, I'm so LA. So Kristen is a model, and I do a lot of photography, so we would just like shoot stuff all the time. And after a while, we were like, we really like these photos. Like, we should share them with the world. So we turned all of our photos and, like, our lifestyle, basically, into Style Smoothie. So we post, like, outfits. We're starting to post more travel stuff. Like, I'm going to Bali, so I'm going to do, like, a ton of updates on Bali.
Yeah.
Kristen surfs a lot, so there's a lot of surfing things. We also do smoothie recipes. Sometimes we post playlists. So it's basically, like, a SoCal adventure lifestyle blog.
Yeah, and I guess you're just going to keep on going with that as long as you can, right?
Oh, yeah. Our Instagram is, like, blowing up right now, which I'm, like, so excited for.
So I know what I'm doing after this.
Yeah,
Checking the Style Smoothie
Official.
Instagram.
Double tap.
I will check that out for sure. But yeah, so as far as that goes then, you're really into fashion too, and are you want to eventually do more with fashion?
I mean, I kind of like it as, like, I mean, I love shopping. I love, like, looking cute and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would ever turn it into, like, more of a career thing per se. I've thought about like putting out a line of t-shirts or something like that, but I really haven't had like enough time to really like commit to that fully.
Yeah.
So, I mean, never say never, anything could happen, but right now it's all about the blog and just like seeing where that takes us.
Yeah, and what about on-air acting? Because you said you started off just acting in general,
Yeah.
and you've done on-camera work as well. Is there anything on camera? Are you trying to get back into that, or are you pretty happy doing more typically voice acting?
Right now, I'm just so busy with voiceovers that it's like I don't even have time to like go on commercial auditions and things like that. Which I'm like thankful to be so busy with voiceover stuff because it allows me to make a living. But I do kind of miss the on-camera stuff.
Yeah.
So who knows? I just actually created a pilot that I hosted.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe that'll go somewhere.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'd ask, but I'm sure that's all under wraps about what that's
Kind
about.
of, yeah. I mean, hopefully very soon I'll be able to announce something about it.
Yeah.
But I update about that and about like all my voiceover stuff on my website, which is just CassandraLeeMorris.com. So, yeah.
So CassandraLeeMorris.com for all your updates on Cassandra.
Yeah, and all my many things I have going on at any given time.
So what in the future can people expect from you?
Basically just like world domination.
Okay, great. That's a good
Yeah.
plan. You're going a little supervillain, but that's all right. As long as there's no permadeath, I'll be okay with it.
I'll
Okay,
be
cool.
I'll be a kind ruler.
All right.
I'll listen to everybody.
All right. I'm kind of thinking Sword Art Online with the villain. Yeah.
No villain here. I'm pretty nice.
Other than the
Pretty
world
nice.
domination.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, gotta
Yeah.
create your own world.
Yeah. Okay.
You're like, what?
exactly. No. If I can create my own world, that's what I want.
Yeah. But seriously, I guess, let's see, what can you expect from me? Definitely more voiceover stuff. Hopefully one of the 2 shows that I produced will be on air sometime in the near future. That's a super long process, but they're both like docu-series reality pitches.
Okay.
So hopefully something will happen with those. I wish I could tell you more, but like I literally had a meeting today and I was like, all right, we're like overhauling some of it. So even if I told you something now, it might be like totally different in like a month.
Because that's how it works. Always. Yeah.
It is. Well, you know, it's like when you're creating something, it's always like revise, like with anything.
Yeah.
So.
But at least there's progress being made if you just had a meeting today. So that's good.
Yeah. I'm definitely going out there and trying to do as much as I can.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And where can people find you?
On Twitter, I am at SoCassandra. Also, my personal Instagram is at SoCassandra. And then my blog is at StyleSmoothieOfficial. And I think I update that more than my regular Instagram, so.
All right, so go to Style Smoothie Instagram and check out CassandraLeeMorris.com, right?
Yeah.
All right, and guys, I'm Dave Klein. You can find me on Twitter at TheDaveKlein. That's Klein. And thank you again for coming on. It was such a pleasure having you.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Great, and we'll see you guys next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.